All right, so peace, kings and queens. So if you look at our video for today, our video is going to be on dilation. So as usual, let's go ahead and start with some vocabulary. If we look at the first part, it says dilation. And dilation is going to be a transformation. All right, a transformation in which a figure, a transformation is in which a figure, excuse me, a transformation in which a figure is enlarged or reduced with respect to the origin. All right, so it's an enlargement or a reduction with respect to the origin. That origin is going to be called our center of dilation. Okay, a center of dilation. All right, so one thing to note is in a dilation, the original figure and its image are going to be similar. All right, so note. All right, so the original figure and its image are going to be similar. All right, the next thing that we need to talk about is a scale factor. So a scale factor is the ratio of the side lengths All right, so ratio of the side lengths of the image to the corresponding side to the corresponding side lengths of the original figure. All right. So also when we're talking about scale factors, so when we dilate a figure with respect to the origin, we have to multiply the coordinates of each vertex by the scale factor. All right. All right. So once again, when we're dilating something about the origin or with respect to the origin, we have to multiply each individual coordinate by the scale factor. All right. One important thing to note is if the scale factor is going to be greater than 1. All right, I'm going to abbreviate scale factor. So if the scale factor is greater than 1, all right, if the scale factor is going to be greater than 1, the dilation is an enlargement. All right. if the scale factor is going to be, all right, if the scale factor is less than 1, or excuse me, between 0 and 1, then it's a reduction. All right, so if it's going to be between 0 and 1, it's going to be a reduction. So let's keep looking at this. So when we talk about a dilation off of the coordinate plane, one way to check to make sure something is a dilation is if we make a center point, all right? Let's just say that this is my center point out here, right? All right, if I have that center point, if I can connect my two vertices or any of my vertices from that center point, all right, then we know that that figure is a dilation about the origin. If all of my vertices do not meet at some point, then that means it is not a dilation. So in figure 2, that is in fact a dilation. Okay? If we look at the next part, it says write the order pairs of the image. All right, so if we have number 1, I have my scale factor of 4, and I have 4 order pairs. Remember above we said if I want to perform a dilation, I have to multiply each individual coordinate by the scale factor. So if I look at the first one, if I look at part A, to get the image and get A prime, I have to multiply each coordinate by the scale factor. So 4 times 1 is going to be 4. 4 times 3 is 12. That's my new ordered pair after the dilation. If I look at B prime, 4 times 2 is going to be 8, and then 5 times 4 is going to be 20. All right, let's do the same thing for C prime. 4 times 4 is going to be 16, and then 5 times 4 is going to be 20. And last but not least for D prime, 3 times 4 is going to be 12, and 3 times 4 is also going to be 12. So that's what my new order pairs, that's my image after I have done my scale factor. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the next problem. The next problem asks me to do a scale factor of 1/2. So if I start with A and I want to find the image of A, now this time I'm multiplying by 1/2, okay? All right, so if I want to do A prime, 2 times 1/2 is the same thing as saying 2 divided by 2, so that's 1. All right. If I look at B prime, 1/2 of 4 is 2, so I have 2 comma 2. For C prime, C prime is going to be 3 comma 3, and D prime is going to be 4 comma 4. So moving right along, let's flip that paper over to page 2. Okay. So number 1 asks us, it says triangle ABC has vertices A, B, and C, and it says draw the image of the triangle ABC after a dilation with a scale factor of 3. And we want to identify the type of dilation. So there are a few important things that we need to talk about. So let's first go ahead and plot those points. So for A at 1 comma 3, all right, that's A. B is at 2 comma 3. All right, and C is at 2 comma 1. So I should have that small triangle right there. So it told me that I have a scale factor of 3. So A prime will become 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 3 is 9. All right. B prime, if I multiply each coordinate by 3, 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, and last but not least, C prime would be 2 times 3 is 6, and 1 times 3 is 3. So let's go ahead and plot those new points. So 3, 9 will be here. 6, 9 is here. And then C prime should be right here. So if you look at it, when I multiply my scale factor by 3, that's what my dilation is, all right? My whole figure became an enlargement. So remember we said if my scale factor is larger than 1, then my dilation is an enlargement. So for number 1, this is an enlargement. Okay, so moving along, let's look at number 2. All right, number 2 says draw the image of rectangle WXYZ after a dilation with a scale factor of 0.5. Identify the type of dilation. So starting with W, W is going to be -4, -6. All right, so that is here. X is -4, +8. Y is 4, 8. And Z is 4, -6. So I should get that nice rectangle on my coordinate plane for number 2. Okay? So now when I'm talking about the image, okay, what my dilated figure is going to look like. If I start with W, all right, if I want to find W prime, I have to take 1/2 of each ordered pair. It says my scale factor is 0.5. So I need to multiply each coordinate by 1/2. So if I take 1/2 of W, 1/2 of -4 is -2. Half of -6 is -3. Okay, so let's plot that. All right, if I have X, half of that is going to be -2, 4. Looking at Y, so Y prime, the image, taking half of 4 is 2, half of 8 is 4, so 2, 4. And last but not least, Z prime. Z prime is going to be half of 4 is 2, half of -6 is -3. So, in my notes, remember it told me that if I had a dilation or if I had a scale factor that was less than 1 and it was between 0 and 1, my figure was going to be a reduction. So I didn't change the shape at all, I just changed the size. So remember these figures are similar, however my dilation was a reduction. All right, kings and queens. So I want you guys to go ahead and write the summaries. I will be giving credit for summaries tomorrow in class. Have a good weekend.